Mark Jeffries, and Matt Pangrack. BTL is brought to you by Lowrance, Lose, Strike King Lures, Bass Cat Boats, Ducket Fishing, Spro, AFCO, Sunline, and TH Marine. BTL coming at you. Good Monday, everybody. Welcome once again to Bass Talk Live, BTL, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Matthew, it is time for the 14th version of the Classic Odds Show. And I got to tell you, I've got my sheet right here. You've got a copy of it. Probably one of the most difficult things that I've ever put together for a Classic Odds Show. It was, here, let me just say this. I spent an enormous amount of time doing this, and I don't have a whole lot of info. Does that make any sense?
It does. You're hit me with a stat before the show opened that was pretty eye-opening about
you came close to your guess.
Experience of the classic field.
Yeah. So there's 53 competitors, and you already know the answer, but we're going to ad-lib here a little bit. What do you think the number was? What was your guess before the show when we were talking about this?
Was my guess 90 or
no? It was 100.
My guess was 100. So
total,
all 53, their classic appearances added up.
Yeah.
Now you got to remember, like, Van Dam has like 30. Rick Clunn has like 34. Ike had what, 19 in a row or something, 24 in a row. So like those three numbers add up to 100 from just those three guys.
Yeah. Yeah. The number is 90, folks. Combined classic appearances for the entire 53 angler field is 90.
Did you look that up? Like individually on each guy? Like went to their profile?
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive, Mark.
I haven't seen that stat anywhere. Maybe I missed it somewhere. But yeah, 90 classic appearances for the entire field. Now, who do you think is the seasoned vet when it comes to fishing in the Bassmaster Classic?
My guess was Mark Menendez.
And you are incorrect.
Yeah.
It's John Cruz with 11 appearances.
Okay. He's very consistent.
Yeah.
Cruz is. How many does Heron have? 9? Somewhere around there, I think.
Matt Heron has 7.
7.
Yeah.
And what does Menendez have?
Only 6, I believe. Let me look here real quick. Brian Snowden has 6.
Zaldane has to have a few.
Zaldane, I believe, has 4. Yeah, 4.
So this will be his 5th?
Yeah. Bill Owen has 9.
Yeah. What about Keith Combs?
I believe his number is 4.
No
Let me
way.
Look here real quick. Keith Combs, no, 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes it every year.
Yeah.
All right, so you got the odds, obviously.
I worked a lot on this, folks. I've got some, on some of the guys, I've got some stats. But quite honestly, I am really, really looking forward to this classic because, in my honest opinion, based upon the years of experience fishing a Bassmaster Classic, somebody's life's probably going to get changed. And I know we say that, and it's kind of cliche.
No, you look at this. There's no one who has won a classic that's in the field, correct?
That is correct.
John Cox has a Forest Wood Cup, rest in peace. And, there's some guys that have come close. Paul Mueller has the classic heavyweight record on Gunnersville.
Finished 2nd.
Back there. But, yeah, that's a very, very true statement there. It's not, going to add another classic trophy to anyone's mantle. It will be the centerpiece of the mantle when they win it.
Yeah, and they're going to get some grip, too. Financial gains from winning this. I think with everything going on in this industry, if you were to have somebody that had 0 classic experience win this thing, the financial gains that individual will experience will really create a close relationship with their local banker.
Yeah. Did you? It's kind of surprising to me. Keith Combs only has one top 10 in the Classic.
Yeah, I think I have that in my notes.
Yeah, I would think that he would be up there more.
Yeah. All right. I need to let everybody know what's going on here. This is the only show we're going to do this week. I actually leave for the Classic on Thursday, and I have to wrap up some stuff. Dude, I was a little hurt. I'm just going to be honest with you. I had this big procedure, and the whole reason why we only did 2 shows last week on Wednesday, and I did not hear a peep from you.
What do you mean you had a procedure? You said you had to go get your back looked at.
No,
I had no idea
we talked about that. That's the whole reason why we didn't have a show on Wednesday.
Right. I knew you had to go see the doctor for your back.
Because they were doing this injection pain relief procedure.
No, that they just put a needle in and shoot you.
That's
your
not true.
Injection stuff in.
That's not
Did you
true.
go under?
No.
Did you have to get in a hospital robe?
No, but they numb the area.
Did you have to have your emergency contacts there?
No.
So it wasn't a major procedure then.
I never said it was a major procedure.
I didn't even know that. I just thought they were giving you a shot or two around the sore area.
Jeez. No.
Well, Mark, how are you?
No. My back has never felt better. Who knows? I have not tried to throw a bowling ball between now and then. Wednesday will be the day that we test that.
I need to do our one-on-one bowling match sooner rather than later with you while you're rusty.
Exactly. And I got my patches in today. That's the other thing. All right? They have these prescription patches that I'm supposed to put over the area.
Medical patches.
Yeah.
I thought you were going
not nicotine
no,
patches.
No, I thought you were going like 1990s bowling patches that you got to like sew onto your polyester button down there, Mark.
No. So anyway, I'm giving you a hard time.
But you're doing good.
I know. Oh yeah, dude, I feel great. Feel really, really good. Who knows how long it's going to last, spending time in the airplane. The other thing is, when we come back, we return on Monday, and then we'll do our Classic review show on Tuesday. And then, folks, I am going to bust my tail at the Bassmaster Classic to get some really, really cool guests lined up over the next month and a half. So that's kind of my objective. I'm actually going, yes, as a member of the media, but this is the first Classic, Matthew, that I'm just a fan, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of different.
Yeah, I'm actually very much looking forward to kind of taking in the 50th from kind of behind the scenes, doing the media thing, talking to the guys who are in the mix and not in the mix, and then also I'm going to try to, for the first time, actually watch part of the weigh-in.
Yeah, because you're always behind stage.
I've never actually seen the weigh-in, so.
Yeah. Anyway. No. Oh, who was that? Andy in Indiana. I can't post that, but that's pretty funny. All right. I want to say this, and then we'll take a break and come back. A couple of things. I want to talk about your weekend.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that, and then we'll take a break. But real quick, when I was working on the Classic Odds, there was something that I thought about that is next to impossible as far as happening, I think. And if you tell me that this is in the works or they're actually considering doing this, maybe I just missed the boat and did not hear about it, but I'm kind of shocked if I did. With this being the 50th Classic, Bass should have done everything they could to try and get every living Classic winner in one room at one time.
They might bring them all up. Who knows?
I know one that's not going to be there because he's locked up. Talking about Robert Hamilton.
Yeah.
He's going to be locked up for the next 4 years.
Every winning Classic winner, there could be some awkward
I agree.
that are created by bringing some of those anglers on stage at Bass.
This is the 50th version of the greatest bass fishing event in the world.
No, I hear you.
How cool would that be?
It would be like when they brought Forrest up on stage at the last Cup.
I mean, before they do I think it would be cool to have some type of gathering.
I think if they don't, they're going to do some really cool video stuff because I think you're seeing some kind of teases of it leading up to it.
I don't disagree with that.
They've had some serious people in the studio there at Little Rock, and I think there's going to be a lot of nostalgia associated with this Classic. Mm-hmm. Do you not agree? Not only
100%.
being at Guntersville in Alabama,
There's just so many
50th
personalities.
Classic.
Dude, with it being the 50th one, how cool would it be to get every living Classic champion on location for the 50th Classic? And
Be a logistical nightmare.
Next to it, no, not really. Not
Well,
really.
I mean,
From a logistics standpoint,
I guess it's
not
just
really
that
at all.
you need to be here at this time. Like, okay, that's probably the easiest thing you could ever do. I guess where else are they going to be? It's
Yeah.
the 50th Classic.
Yeah. So just a thought. I think the fans would really appreciate that. But once again, next to impossible to get that thing.
You got a fluoroscope?
Yeah. Yeah, they know what they're talking about there.
Is that similar to a kaleidoscope?
No.
Of-
It's not a colonoscopy either. Anyway. So after we get the Classic odds done, we will talk a little bit about what we're going to do. And I'm really excited about meeting a lot of people at the Bassmaster Classic.
Saturday
Yeah.
at the Classic Expo from noon to 2 at the AFCO booth. Mark and I will just be hanging out. I think we're right after Scott Martin.
Oh, jeez. That's a pretty impressive act to follow. Anyway.
Maybe a couple people hang around after Scott Martin. We could just pretend that.
Yeah. Hey, if you see us walking around, you see me walking around, this is like a vacation almost for me, Matthew. With everything that I've had going on.
Stomping around with the backpack on, trying
Yeah.
to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you usually are.
Just hanging out. If you guys want to chat about anything, bass fishing, bowling. Somebody wanted to bring a bowling ball and have me sign it. I don't know about that. I actually thought about bringing the trifecta over there and bowling balls, but it would be a pain in the butt to
Why
do
would you
that.
bring bowling balls? To go bowl?
Yeah.
While you're in.
Yeah, there's a couple of bowling centers that are really nice in Birmingham. But anyway, I'm going to be Ubering it during the
There you
Classic. So, all right, man, what happened this weekend?
Man, I did a lot of fishing. You know, we didn't have any shows last week, so
Yeah.
I ended up, I told you I'd gone out to 10 Killer, and it just sucked it up, Mark. And I had the ABA. What?
It's just Andy in Indiana. That was epic. Anyway,
What about Matt Herron?
no,
Oh.
I didn't post it. Anyway, go ahead.
I
man.
go out there Friday, and the day before. So I was fishing the ABA on Saturday, and then the Nichols on Grand on Sunday. And I want to do well in the ABA. Top 10 in the points make the colonoscopy save lives. I'm reading the comments too. Okay, get distracted over here. Top 10 in the points make that Ray Scott championship. And the Ray Scott championship is like 50 grand in a boat and stuff. So I caught the heck out of him Friday. Saturday, not so much. Super struggle. Like I thought I was going to be dialed in. It took me 2 hours to catch one doing what I thought I was going to be doing. Mm-hmm. And then I said, this is scrambling at its finest. So I caught one in 4 foot of water in the back of a pocket on a flat side balsa. I caught one in 2 foot of water on the other end of the lake on a wigglewort. I caught one in 30 foot of water on an Alabama rig. And I caught a release fish off the ramp on a Ned rig. Those are my 4 keepers. I ended up finishing, I think, 22nd out of 70 guys there. So I salvaged it for the points.
Oh, it's all about
My
the points.
co-angler finished third. I think
Damn good guide.
No, 4th. He finished 4th. He did good. 18-year-old kid.
That's good.
Yeah, he caught one on a wigglewort over 50 foot of water mark. Ate it right at the boat. I mean, choked it. Like, chucked it out over the channel.
Wasn't
while
a
I was
smallmouth, was it?
No, a largemouth. And I was throwing an A-rig up on this hump, and he threw it out over the channel and right by the boat. I mean, he had to go in behind the gill plate to get the wigglewort out. That it ate 3 feet from the boat over 50 foot of water.
Holy smoke.
I said, it's your day, dude. I said,
Jeez.
keep rolling with it, man.
Wow.
So, and then I fished the Nichols yesterday on Grand, 255 boats. There were 3 20-pound bags, and I was legitimately within 100 yards of 2 of those 20-pound bags, and I zeroed. We didn't catch a fish. So my buddy Brock, I called him. I said, how'd you guys, he's like, oh, we're sitting third. I was like, that's awesome, man. Like, what did you do? And he's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, I'm serious. Like, I didn't get a bite all day, and I stayed in this one area. And he's like, you know that boat this morning that went past you and caught a big one? I was like, yeah.
That
He
was
goes,
him?
That was us. And I was like, no, it wasn't. And he goes, yeah, we were fishing out of TJ's boat, not mine.
How far apart?
Oh, they were 100 yards down the bank.
Okay.
I mean, but enough to where it's like, oh, they got one. Oh, they got a big one. Oh, look, now they're trying to like block it to where they don't think we see that they caught a big one.
Meanwhile, you're chucking the Alabama rig.
Yeah. So I was all around the guys who I was in the right area with no practice. I was within 100 yards of all this.
Yeah.
0 bites. I might have had one swim through my Alabama rig. Like
Hang
I
on.
might have had one swim through it.
All right, dude.
Multiple 20-pound
This is not
bags.
like you. All right, so I have a couple of questions. How much preparation did you do for this event?
I knew where I wanted to be, and I knew what I wanted to throw. I knew what it was going to be one on because of kind of what it had gone down. I knew it's Alabama rig if you wanted to win, which you fish the nickels to win. Like it goes boat, 10,000, 3,700, and then down. And you got to split that. So I'd rather split a boat than split 10 grand.
Okay.
So I stuck with the A rig. I did a little bit of wiggle warning just because it felt like the right thing to do.
So it's just all about the win then.
Yeah,
It's all about the win.
In the nickels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
So still, dude, I mean, you're shelling out cash. You're putting in the effort on Sunday. This event was on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's not like you not to do any homework.
No, I did homework. Look where I was. I was within 100 yards
Yeah,
of
but
guys.
it's a community hole.
That's because Grand is muddy. It came up 4 foot, then it had been dropping. I did do a quick lap around noon to check out some other watercolors, and I said, this is where I need to be. I was in the right area.
Oh, the noon, the day of the tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I ran over to Shangri-La, ran on some of the pockets there between the Shangri-La Point and the sailboat bridge. Ran back into Wolf during the tournament because it was kind of dark when we took off. And I had an early boat draw. It was like 42 rolling mud in there.
So did you go up there on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday at all?
No.
Wow, that's just not like. I know you put a lot of effort
Well,
in it.
here's why. Because 10 Killer's practice was so sucky. I wanted to make sure I tried to stay in the running for that Ray Scott. I was like, okay, I can suck in the nickels, and it's like a one-off deal because I do a lot of sucking in the nickels. If you haven't noticed,
Well, it's
either top 10 or 0. And I don't throw
that's what
fish
you're
back.
trying to
I don't
do.
throw fish back in the nickels. If it says a 0 on there, it's because I zeroed. So
Man.
I was a little nervous about 10 Killer. So I survived 10 Killer and did not survive the nickels.
It's an expensive weekend, man.
Yeah.
So what else happened? You were saying something about something or cost you money or whatever.
No, that was it. Oh, so we're doing this series on YouTube, the Pangers 2020.
Yeah.
So I had all this, great stuff from 10 Killer, the struggle bus. I did more. I did more talking and had the whole thing down and everything was good. So I was going to roll it over. One episode, 10 Killer, Nichols.
Yeah.
So I get gas early Saturday morning. Nichols, I do a thing. Hey, we're at the gas station. Juice is going in, getting snacks because the guy loves snacks. Guy eats a lot of snacks in the back of my boat. Yeah. So then the gas stops, and I guess I set my GoPro on the top of the truck with the card in it from the day before, completely full, $500 setup, and drove off with it in the back of my truck.
Oh, my God.
So I lost all the footage from Saturday, don't have any of it, and there's someone who's got a SD card filled with a lot of me fishing on it.
And a camera.
And the GoPro camera and the gooseneck mount and the whole 9 yards. Gone.
Dude, that sucks. That's... Wow. When did you realize that happened?
About halfway to the lake.
Oh, geez.
Because I got distracted by something. I think the gas kind of flowed or something like that. Yeah.
See, there's people on the instant feedback blaming it on all your crappie fishing.
No, it had nothing to do with the crappie fishing. Crappie fishing actually helped because I put that A-rig.
Oh, I know. I see from the performance this weekend.
I put that A-rig in front of a lot of fish. I know I did. They just didn't bite my stuff.
Yeah. Dude, I'm sorry. That's a real expensive weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Jeez.
It was pretty expensive. So classic this week. I'm going.
Wait, hang on a second. Did you go back to the gas station on the way home, just in case somebody might have turned it in?
No, because it would have rode for a while. It's not like it would have just fallen off at the gas station.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like a turn. I'm sure it's either. Who knows where it is?
All right. No.
There's the
sorry,
only
man.
hope is there's like a 0.5% hope that someone finds it. But typically, if you're walking along the side of the interstate, you're not like the life decisions that you've made that lead you to finding a GoPro on the side of the interstate, you're probably not going to have the type of character that's going to have a computer to be able to check the micro SD card.
They're not going to have the i7.
Watch the 6 hours of footage to realize what tournament I was fishing, what my name was, and then locate me and let me know. That thing's at a pawn shop with 7 hours of me fishing on it.
Man, that is brutal. By the way, I will keep an eye on my backpack this year at the Classic.
Oh, you had your backpack stolen last year at the Classic.
I know. Some dude was walking around with it on his back at the Expo show. Tracked him down, though. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back right here with the unbelievable odds. And I'm going to be honest, Matthew, this might break Vegas if Hookie the Bookie was taking lines on the Classic this year. All right, everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The ultimate fishing system starts with Lowrance HDS Live. Upgrade to HDS Live with a Ghost trolling motor, live sight transducer, or Structure Scan 3D, and get up to $500 cash back.
Yeah, you care about gear ratios, inches per turn, and ball bearings, but most importantly, you want reliability and dependability in the equipment you use. Luz doesn't cut corners when it comes to the gear they build. The new Speed Spool LFS is the best $99 reel in the market. Go see for yourself.
We've paired one of the most iconic hulls in the history of bass boats with a proven lineup of trusted accessories. We're bringing you best-in-class value and performance, leaving others in your wake. Turnkey value, turnkey performance. The Pantera 2 is an overachiever in the 19-foot category. Once you hit the throttle, you'll feel the rush, and there's no looking back.
Kevin, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm just filling in for Billy.
I need 660 shad crankbaits in the Series 5 model.
We're out.
You're not out. You got all kinds of them right there.
We're out.
Kevin, I need 6.
Have a lollipop.
I do not want a lollipop.
Have a lollipop.
Do you have it in sexy shad color?
At Duckett Fishing, we have assembled the top pros in the country to help us design rods to give you a competitive advantage. Castability, strength, durability, action, sensitivity, weight and balance, and consistency. Combine that with the best warranty in the industry, and you have rods that are pro-driven.
Duckett Fishing, pro-driven.
I want to share to you a new product we got coming out from Sunline. This is the FC leader size spools that we have now. We've gotten a lot of requests for this. A lot of you guys use fluorocarbon for leaders only, myself included. And one of the problems you have is when you have a 200-yard spool, that might last you 2, 3, 4 years. You might even lose it before you even get done with the spool. So we've gone to a little smaller spool. These are 50-yard spool sizes. You know, that way you're not holding your line on forever. You can keep your line fresh, use it when you can, stores real easily in the boat. We got all of our popular line sizes that you're used to with our Sniper from 5 to 14 pound. If you guys are looking for a line that you're only tying for a leader, go check out Sunline FC Leader 100% fluorocarbon and give it a try.
Blue Water by TH Marine, offering LED lighting solutions for your boat, trailer, truck, ATV, and so much more. Engineered and built to be rugged with waterproof and submersible options. Designed for easy installation, Blue Water is available in a variety of colors and styles. All backed by a limited lifetime warranty. Blue Water by TH Marine.
The name SPRO says it all. SPRO stands for Sports Professionals. When you look at the pro staff that SPRO has brought on board over the past 15 years, it's been pretty incredible. I mean, one got it just then. From the development of the rock crawler to the McStick, from the Fat Papa to the Little John series, when you tie a Spro bait on, you know it's been designed by a professional to get the job done. While I travel the country on the Bassmaster Elite Series, I simply can't let the weather be the reason I don't win $100,000. That's why I use AFCO clothing to keep me warm, dry, and protected from whatever Mother Nature wants to throw at me. My season depends on it. My career depends on it. AFCO, any fish, any water.
All of us on the Pro Tournament Trail use Gamakatsu hooks.
Why?
Because they are absolutely the best.
It's not about how many bites you get.
It's how many you put in the boat.
Gamakatsu makes hooks for every fishing style.
We didn't come this far to lose fish.
Did you?
For more information, visit gamakatsu.com.
The Big Bite Baits Kamikaze Swim-On is a very unique bait, and it's got a full body but with ribs to give it a bigger profile but not more plastic. It's got a jointed tail that gives it a lot of action, as well as this up and down crawl type trail with holes and ribs in it, so it creates a bubble trail almost. This bait is supposed to be fished upside down or vertical like this on a great for a chatterbait. I prefer it on a swim jig as well, but you can also cut it down and put it on the back of a finesse jig. You know, flip it around for some spotted bass or flipping docks. Anytime you want a small, compact, you know, little trailer for it, this is great for it. So check out the full lineup of swim-ons at bigbitebaits.com.
All right, we are back. It is Classic Week. Mark and Matt, and I'm really, I know I said it in the first part of the show, really excited about going to Birmingham and being at this Classic. It is time. We are ready. And I did verify this, Matthew. This is the 14th year that I've done this. So I know a lot of people throw some odds. All right, now
It's pretty impressive.
I'm going to preface this by saying, as I say every year that I do this is for entertainment purposes only, and these odds are set based upon if there was a casino in Las Vegas that was willing in their sports book to take action on the Bassmaster Classic.
Serious question. Do you think somewhere in the underground world of gambling there is a bookie, and this is a series that is taking action on the Classic? Do you think like that somewhere in some dark room someone is taking Classic bets for cold hard cash?
Especially this year, because Vegas could lose their tail this year if they were taking
any year. What makes it different this year than any other year?
Because there's so much unknown based upon past performance. And think about it. When you look at odds and setting odds and lines for professional football, baseball, basketball, and everything, what are they using to set the odds?
History.
Performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have any for the majority of the field. So quite honestly, folks, I busted my tail trying to come up with stuff, but there just isn't a whole lot.
This just crossed my mind.
What's that?
With so many Classic rookies, we're going to have a lot of criers this year. Because you got
do you
a lot
have your prop bets?
No, I don't.
You didn't do prop bets?
No.
Oh, man.
I was too busy losing GoPros and zeroing, Mark. We're going to have a lot of people who's get their lifelong dream of walking across the Classic stage.
Yeah.
Which sometimes brings individuals to tears.
I did not print off how many of these, I guess I could count them real quick, how many anglers are making their first appearance. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. And man, there's way too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I'm up to 30.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Oh, you got Clint Davis has also won a cup. He's in the field. Forgot about him. So you got multiple championship winners in the field.
Yeah. So, you ready, man?
Yeah, let's
All right,
hit it.
we're gonna start at the bottom and just kind of work work our way up.
You always want to start at the bottom.
Yeah. All right, Josh Busby. He is the highest odds. He's the team guy. 100 to 1, man. Throw $10 down. Hooky the bookie says if you want to put $10 down, you can win 100 or you can win 1,000.
Okay.
Would that not be a great story?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, for the first time in a long time, there was an amateur that actually made the television show in the U.S. Open of bowling.
Wow.
That dude has been all over the place from a media standpoint.
Was he the one that beat your boy?
Yeah, in the position round.
Chris Prather?
Beat Chris Prather.
Amateur sent Chris Prather home?
Now, he was a collegiate bowler. I mean, he was big time in the college ranks. Anyway, so Busby, 100 to 1.
I got an issue with the next one.
I got Cody Huff and Cam Starrett at 75 to 1. All right, I know what you have an issue with. Go ahead, state your case.
I mean, Rick Clunn has tapped Cody Huff as something to be reckoned with. You look at his history coming off of a Toyota Series win and another win. It's a grass lake brimming with confidence. We've seen a collegiate angler on Gunnersville turn in a top 10 in Jordan Lee. Now, granted, it was Jordan Lee before we knew Jordan Lee, but I think if I was going to hypothetically put money on this, he would be I would bet on a college angler in fishing.
Okay.
Which sounds
dude.
Really
but
bad.
I'm going to say this again: the college is a different game.
Yeah, but this is a different guy.
Bassmaster Classic.
This guy. He's a kid. He's tested in the Toyota Series and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't think there's any pressure on him? I mean, for a college kid to win a Toyota Series, 30, 40 grand?
It's not the Classic.
I know, but I'm just saying he's shown that he can
Especially
do it.
the 50th one with a jam-packed Coliseum.
And you look at his resume, and he is he's fishy. We've had this talk before. Once I say someone's fishy, there's guys who are fishy and guys who aren't fishy.
Yeah.
I've never met him.
Right.
But from everything I've read and heard and talked to about him, he's very fishy.
All right. Is that not a temptation, though, to throw $10 down on your man, Cody Huff?
I bet I would throw 100 on Cody Huff.
To win 7,500.
I'm considering picking Cody Huff on my fantasy team.
Really?
Yes.
All right. From Alva, Missouri. Right there in Rick Clunn's hometown. Nearby Rick Clunn's hometown. All right. I will mention Busby. He's from Rogersville, Missouri. And Cam Starrett is from New Hampshire. So now let's go to 50 to 1. I got Taylor Smith from Washington and Cody Holland from Beaverton, Oregon, both at 51. Got a nation guy, both nation guys. More power to them. At 25 to 1, Daryl Gleason, Mike Huff, Daryl Gleason from Manny, Louisiana. He won at
Toledo Bend. Yep.
Which is where he's from. I mean, he's right there.
He's good.
He's decent.
He's better than DC. He's very good if you look at what he's done this year.
He likes the HFA.
Yes. And
agreed?
Yes. And this Gunnersville, he is used to fishing this time of the year with options as far as submergent vegetation, rattle traps, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
This is comfortable for Daryl Gleason.
I agree.
More so than, a guy who's not used to that stuff.
No, I agree. All right. Mike Huff from Corbin, Kentucky, and Caleb Cuppall.
Yep. He won an Open, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. And Lee Livesey.
Yep. All at 25
and
to
Whitney
1.
Stevens.
Oh, from Waverly, Ohio, through the Opens.
Boy, we have a very diverse classic field. So far, we've got New Hampshire, Washington, Oregon, Ohio, Wisconsin, Texas.
Yeah, it's all over the place. So with that group that I just mentioned from 25 to 1 and higher, there's only one angler that has a classic appearance. One. Any idea who that is? Whitney Stevens.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list. It says classic appearances next to it, so I assume that was a rhetorical question.
Well, I was letting everybody know out there in case they don't know.
Okay.
All right, moving on to 20 to 1. Bob Downey from Wisconsin, Luke Palmer from Oklahoma, and Caleb Summerall
Who's got some classic experience.
One time.
Yeah. Dude, I'm pretty sure Luke Palmer has ice water in his veins. We've had him on the show. I've done some youth seminar stuff with him. I mean, he is just as cool as it comes. So I don't think he would be intimidated at all if he's in the mix. And it obviously is in Caleb Summerall's wheelhouse.
Yeah. So we've been through 11 players now, and we have 2 classic appearances so far.
19-1. You got 2 guys there. Now this is a head scratcher for me, Mark. I feel like you got this one wrong. If I'm not putting money on Cody Huff, I'm putting money on Gussie, Jeff Gustafson, at 19-1.
Yeah.
Along with Jake Whitaker at 19-1 too. But why is Gussie at 19-1?
Here. One, it's an action play. I'm trying as hooky the bookie, trying to generate some interest. But the one thing about Gussie, he finished 67th at Guntersville at 2019.
But you said it was totally different.
It's totally different. And all these stats that you can look up for the Guntersville event, the last Guntersville event for the Elite Series guys, it was in June. And who won that event? Do you remember who won it?
Yeah. Jamie Hartman.
Yeah. That he did, all right? But totally different conditions. And the one characteristic about Gussie, dude, he is 11 for 11 in caches, which I don't know if you got to put an asterisk by that, because I don't know, and I did not verify the case on this. I don't know if they're counting the $2,500
they are 100%
as caches.
Yeah, they're counting it.
So everybody went.
Yes, everybody cashes a
whatever.
check every single. It's totally jacked up the career earnings and the money earnings and the check cashes statistic.
Yeah.
Just throw that out the window for the last 2 years because Bass is making you pay him the money and then giving half of it back to you the next tournament.
Yeah, I just think that stat is really skewed.
That's what I said. It's not skewed. It's obsolete now.
All right.
It gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling to know at the end of the year that you made, whatever, $30,000, $25,000 in $2,500 checks. But, I mean, they're literally giving you your money back.
Once again, you're going to hear me say this a lot on the show today. It's his first classic.
Yeah, but Gussie has 2 Forest Wood Cups under his belt, so he's used to a championship deal. I think he could play.
And it's tempting at 19-1, is it not?
Absolutely.
All right. Moving on. 18-1. Todd Auten, the grizzled vet from South Carolina. He's had 3 classic appearances. And let me look at something here real quick on my notes. It's his first classic since 2008, dude. He goes 2008, 2003, 1999.
That's longevity.
So it's been a while. Is he one of those guys with classic experience that might be able to pop something? Absolutely. Knows Guntersville, I would say, pretty well. A lot of experience on Guntersville. But I have him at 18-1. All right, next one. Brandon Card from Tennessee, 18-1. This is going to be his 3rd classic appearance. And here's the other thing. You can't really judge any kind of momentum. Why is that, Matthew?
You cannot judge any kind of momentum.
From this season so far.
Because they fish for 2 days.
Exactly. So to say, he finished 37th at the SJR, I don't know what you can get from a momentum standpoint, having only fished 2 days going into the Bassmaster Classic. The other thing is, his 2 classic appearances, what body of water? I'll just give you the years, 2016 and 2013.
Yeah, he's fished both of them on Grant.
Yeah. So
if there's a thing that Card is good at, it is finding something that is off the beaten path, that is hard to find, that no one else has found, and really maximizing that bite. We've seen him do it numerous times, and with the shape that Guntersville is in, I don't know if there's any. Is there any secret spots on Guntersville at all? But if there's a little hidey hole that he can get the Vexus into, he will be there.
When we get to the single-digit odds, we're going to take a look at the weather, because I think the weather and the lake level are going to play huge into this year's event.
You also have Greg DePalma and Shane LaHue at 18-1, which I think LaHue might be sliding under the radar a little bit.
Well, hang on a minute here. Let's go with DePalma, the New Jersey angler. Once again, 0 classics. You had a horrible SJR. He finished 79th. And then last year at Guntersville, he did finish in 18th. But once again, I don't know if you can take anything from that event and apply it to the conditions, obviously, that's going to come into play during the 3 days at the Bassmaster Classic. So that's what I got on him. What did you say, LaHue?
Yeah, he's a little bit under the radar. He's coming off of 4 consecutive Cup appearances, and he's got top 20 in 4 of those Cups.
Yeah.
And also just been very consistent throughout his entire career. He fished early February on Guntersville in an FLW Tour event in 2017 and had 17 pounds on the first day. Now, he only had 3 fish on the second day, but he showed that he can hang with them too.
All right, we're 18 anglers in, and we have a total of 5, 7, 8 years of classic appearances.
Okay.
Not very many, and Todd Otten leading the way with 3. Next up, 17-1, Skylar Hamilton, 1 classic appearance. Just
wouldn't surprise me if he catches him, but no reason to put him as a favorite.
No, hang on. I thought I had some notes on him.
He's back out of a fiberglass this year, I believe.
Well, he finished. His only classic that he made was in 2017, and he finished 41st.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I got him at 17-1. All right, Drew Benton, 16-1, 2 classic appearances, and I thought I had some notes on him, but I do not.
Conditions had set up maybe more for a spawning deal. I think Benton would definitely have been higher.
Yeah, but I don't think they're even close.
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Next up at...
You got a bunch of guys at 15-1.
15-1. All right.
You got Gray Buck at 15-1.
Yeah. And I like him a lot. All right. New England or New York pro.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That area.
He likes to catch them in New York.
Exactly. I mean, he fishes a lot in the opens up there. And I think, right here, I'm looking at my notes. Just really impressed. We had him on the show. But once again, no experience when it comes to the Bassmaster Classic.
Mm-hmm.
So I got him at 15-1. All right, Brock Mosley from Mississippi, 15-1, 0 classics. David Mullins from Tennessee, 15-1, no classics. Hunter Shryock from Ohio, 15-1, no classics. I could dig and try and find guys and try and find an edge, but when you do not have that experience at the level that these guys are going to go through,
and you named some
over
experienced
3 days.
guys. I mean, obviously David Mullins and Drew Benton have a lot of experience. A tour winner in Drew Benton.
Didn't he win on Lake Travis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's also won some tour events.
Yeah. But it's not.
No, I see what you
same.
mean. There's a bunch of guys here that you can go back and forth with. It's really hard to try to put them in a box because there's not like a group of guys who really stand out in this classic.
No, when we get to single digits, we'll talk a little bit more. All right, moving on to 12-1.
You've got a mix. 12-1 is the most interesting number because you have a mixture of the guys with the most veteran experience and the guys with the least experience, but you've got them all at 12-1.
Got them all at 12-1. Let's start out. Let's see here. Drew Cook from Florida.
Who's a rookie of the year?
Yeah, 0 classic appearances. Had a decent tournament at the SJR, finished 18th, and then during the 2019 season, finished 25th at Guntersville. He's kind of when things get interesting, difficult, he's kind of a grinder. He kind of finds a way and figures things out. But once again, there's not a whole lot of data to pull from.
Having spent a little bit of time around him at the media events and getting to know his personality, I don't think he spins out. I don't think he
that's a
has.
good point.
I don't think he has the meltdown feature built into him like 95% of bass fishermen do.
Kind of like you.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. The next one may surprise a few. Mark Menendez from Kentucky, 12-1. All right. Here's the stat on Menendez. Not off to a great start. Finished 62nd at the SJR. 5 classics. First one since 2010, dude. It's been 10 years. All right. His best finish in a Bassmaster Classic was 12th back in 1997 on Lake Logan Martin, which is in Alabama. Now,
I'd have lost some money on that. I figured he'd have been to way more classics than 5.
Yeah.
He hasn't been to a classic since 2010?
No.
Good Lord. I would, if you were to say who are the perennial classic qualifiers in this group, like he would be one of the top.
Yeah.
He's never made back-to-back classics either in his career.
No.
And he made his first one in 97.
And
97, 2001,
2003,
2006, and 2010.
Yeah. So that is a tempting play at 12-1, just based upon his experience, not necessarily at Lake Guntersville and the Classic and all that and everything, because he does not have a proven track record of performance at the Classics that he's qualified. But he's been in this game so long and is probably one of the most mentally tough people in this field. Agree with that?
Yeah.
So tempting at 12-1.
Chad Pipkins, 12-1. He might have been a little lower if you've been watching his Instagram stories.
Which I don't, so fill me
having
in.
a rough practice.
Not very good.
Still hunting.
Still hunting. Well.
And then,
who
else did you have? So this is it.
Hang on 1 second. Pipkins, 2 classics that he's been in. 2016, he finished 50th. And then 2015, he finished 41st. So, pretty subpar.
This next guy right here has a chance to really take momentum that he had last year, roll it into this year, and cement himself for years to come with Patrick Walter.
I agree.
I mean, right now he is in a prime position, and not that anyone isn't in a prime position to win a classic, but just with the climate, the year he had last year, the way things are rolling for him, man, if he could be in the mix in this one, I think he could really become a household name in about 3 days.
He's just one of those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say those dudes, it's just one of those guys that you're going to see his name, hopefully maybe this weekend at the top of the leaderboard. But the more experience and he's pretty dialed in all aspects, both on and off the water.
A lot of experience at the collegiate level in national championships.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, because I did this as collegiate. I mean, when you're in those championships as a college angler, regardless of how many people follow it or whatever, it is the Bassmaster Classic of what level you're fishing. And every time that came, he rose to the challenge.
Yeah. All right. Hang on. I got to update. I've been looking at my notes and neglecting the instant feedback.
Okay.
Let me get this caught up. All right. I'm trying to catch up here. Yeah, Menendez throwing a spitterbait might be a factor. You're right, Dave. All right, where are we at? 10-1?
We're at 10-1. We'll just name the list, and then you can talk about who you want to in it. We got Paul Mueller, Matt Airy, Brandon Cobb, Clint Davis, Ray Hanselman, Cliff Prince, and Jason Williamson, all at 10-1. Now we're getting up into your kind of tomato as whether it's 12-1, 10-1, 8-1, 9-1.
Yeah, Williamson with the most classic experience. He's had 3 appearances, but any of those guys can make some noise this week on Lake Guntersville. And let's see here.
Clint Davis with the cup under his belt. Paul Mueller with the heavyweight record on Guntersville with the bladed jig, coming off of a win in Florida with a win last year. I'm kind of surprised that you got him. I mean, he's 18th out of the 53 you got here. I'm surprised you have him in double digits, Mark.
Who is that?
Paul Mueller. He's literally been on that stage. He knows what it's like to sit in the hot, to taste the classic glory. And since then, he's had 2 Elite Series wins, coming off of the Elite Series win in Florida with classic experience and now a veteran who came through the Bass Nation ranks.
Yeah.
I feel like
10-1, man.
That's really low for him.
10-1. Would you put money on it?
I mean, there's three guys. I'm betting on the college kid. I'm betting on Gussie now, and I'm betting on Paul Mueller.
All right. Maybe a little lower, but that's what I'm rolling with. Let's see here.
The other one, and Brandon Cobb, in my opinion, is way low on this, Mark.
Way low? What? You're saying it should be higher than 10-1?
No, he should be
lower.
Way more. He should be Brandon Cobb should be in your top 5.
Well, hang on a minute here. Let's see.
The guy has fished 4 Forest Wood Cups, Mark. He has finished 3rd, 9th, 3rd, and 9th.
He has over $500,000 in earnings.
When they
classics.
went to Gunnersville in February of 2017, the man finished 6th.
I get it. All right, but his 2 classic appearances on one body of water. Which one?
No, you're looking at Brandon Card.
Oh, sorry.
We already had a replay of the.
I'm sorry, he was right below there.
Yeah, Cobb. I don't.
He has the 2 wins and everything. I think 10-1 is good on him.
You just went on Brandon Cobb?
No, it's an action play at 10-1, dude.
Okay.
All right. Now we start to get into the single-digit odds. Let's start out at 9-1.
I'd also just like to point out that he did win 2 Elite Series last year.
I said that.
I know.
But it's not the Bassmaster Classic, dude. No classic appearances.
All right,
9-1. Who do we have here?
Stetson
Blaylock.
Hank Cherry, Micah Frazier, and Brian Snowden.
All right. Let me get my notes on Blaylock here. 0 classic appearances. You go way back to 2009 over on the FLW side. During the month of February, he finished 23rd at Gunnersville. He finished 9th at the SJR, so a little bit of momentum there. 11 Cup appearances. His best finish was 14th back in 2015. 4 consecutive top 10s on the Elite Series. So, 9-1 could get some action, but once again, has never fished in a Bassmaster Classic. But the asterisk is, yes, he has 11 Cup appearances.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you okay at 9-1 on that one?
Yes.
All right, next up, Hank Cherry. 9-1, 4 classics. He was 3rd in 2013 at Grand. All the others have been sub-30s. Just not really a great performance in his classic appearances. He was 8th at Gunnersville in 2019. Not a great start. Finished 56th at the SJR. Something that stuck out to me, and I know it's kind of skewed because of the way that things are working, but he is over the $600,000 mark in earnings. 9-1, I think, is a really good spot for him. Next up, Micah Frazier. How many classic appearances? 3.
Mm-hmm.
9-1.
Real quiet, consistent guy. One of those dudes who he's not going to surprise you to see him up there. Kind of suits his style of fishing. Understated, go out, get the job done. I mean, there's going to be a lot of hoopla around this classic, Mark.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of hoopla. You're going to have a lot of nervous energy. I mean, I've been on the bus. You have too. When you're going as a media observer, they say, hey, meet in the lobby here. And depending on the classic that it's at, these guys all get on a bus and they take them to the boatyard. A lot of times the boatyard is not located, right there with the boats are. So it's just your the classic morning. It's just your observer or your marshal or media representative, and then the classic anglers. That's the only people on the bus. You want to talk about nervous energy. Now, for 80% of these guys, most of the time, they're used to this, sitting on the bus, going to get it. You're talking about your Aarons and Kevins and all that. I mean, it's another day in the office for them. Imagine that this time. On the bus ride and all that, the nervous energy that's going to be around this classic.
Oh, yeah.
And all these guys with their first time going through the process, going through the boatyard, going through the 4 days of practice and the media days and the black tie dinner and the 50th classic and the hoopla around it.
And the stupid
it's on
questions from the
Gunnersville.
media.
Yeah, and media day and all that. So I think you're going to get,
with you.
I mean, I think all this that I just said led back to the fact that along with cool customers, I would put Micah Frazier in that category of guys who are just like, let's go fish.
No, I agree. In his 3 previous classics, 19, 18, and 16, he finished 46, 14, and 14. So a couple of solid finishes in the Bassmaster Classic, and got him at 9-1. All right, real quick before we go on, I'm going to flash up a graphic real quick, Matthew. And it shows the weather forecast.
It's getting better.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's going to be mostly sunny, high in the 50s. Looks like Sunday is going to be the warmest day. 0% right now chance of precip, but man, they are getting a ton of rain on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's actually raining today. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, Friday morning, I think the low is supposed to be in the upper 30s. Actually, if you flip that over, I'm not sure if they carry that over and count the AM temperature. It says 33.
That's a decent class. That's a great classic Friday, Saturday. So that's a great classic forecast.
I'm curious about the fog though. Low wind. It says on there, Friday, northwest 14, northeast 7.
Yeah, it'll blow it out of there on Friday, but the 7 and 6 on Saturday and Sunday might be. What is it? We've had a lot of delays and cancellations and stuff already this year. Let's delay the classic for some fog. Make them sit there. Make them sit there an extra hour.
Can't do that. All right, and then the last person that I have at 9-1, Brian Snowden, who has 6 Bassmaster Classics. And let's see here. I think I have some notes on him real quick. Oh, I know I had Snowden notes. Where'd they go?
What kind of notes did you have on Brian Snowden? How many pages of notes do you have?
A bunch, man. I've really worked hard on this.
Okay.
Because I couldn't find a whole lot of,
I hear you.
Here's the interesting stat on Snowden. This is his first classic since 2015, even though he's been in 6.
Mm-hmm.
So a pretty good dry spell for Brian. He finished 3rd at the Red River, one of the seasoned vets out there on the Elite Series. Even though he's from Table Rock, I think he's
been around.
He knows how to fish
what
grass.
To expect. Yep.
Yeah.
Especially if it turns into slow. I don't know if Brian is the best at covering water, but at the best at catching fish that are there and dissecting an area, and put him right near the top.
No, I agree.
If it turns into a turn and burn, he likes to have that thing on 2 or 3 as opposed to 7 or 8, if you know what I'm saying.
No, you're right. All right, moving on to 8-1. Keith Combs. Have him at 8-1. 7 Bassmaster Classics. He finished 9th at Grand Lake, 22nd at Guntersville back in 2014. Here's a crazy stat. Has not won since 2013.
Who?
Keith Combs.
Really?
He won the whatever.
TTBC?
He did win that, and then he won the like that. One of those
postseason deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but remember he won at Falcon in 2013 and hasn't won a Elite Series in quite some time.
I'm looking that up. I don't believe you.
Here's a cool stat. All right, once again, it gets skewed, but still pretty cool because he's been around for so long. He is 80.
Oh, yeah, he won the Mille Lacs Angler of the Year Championship. They gave him a trophy for that one. You got to count that one. It counts as a win.
Okay. Reduced field, though, correct?
Yes, 50 anglers.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
But it's
like
the top 50 that year, Mark.
Hasn't won a regular Elite Series
fields
since 2013.
Yeah.
The stat that I was saying,
he caught 72 pounds of smallmouth. You're just in 3 days. You're kind of discounting that, Mark. I'm just saying. I think that's a valid win. But I know what you're going with. Continue.
You know what I'm saying.
Continue.
Come on, man. Anyway, we talked about the number being skewed, but I think it's cool. 80 out of 99 events that he popped a check.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
All right, so will there be a crankbait bite?
If there is, he's gonna be hard to beat. Same with Cruz. Cruz has his own dang line of crankbaits.
Yeah. All right. Next up, John Cruz, 8-1. The man that has the most classic experience in the entire field. 11 Bassmaster Classic appearances. And where are my stats for Mr. Cruz? Let's see here. I was really surprised when I was doing this and I found that he was going to be the
most grizzled veteran on there.
Yeah.
If you said it off the top of my head, I'd have said Lowen, Heron, and Menendez probably.
Yeah. Most of those classic appearances, though, Matthew, subpar 20s and 30s.
But you can't really take that into account. I've said before, I think the guy who finishes last in the classic at times is closer to winning than the guy who finishes 10th.
Yeah. I mean, 8-1. He didn't fish the classic in 2019, but I think that 8-1 mark is solely based upon experience.
Cruz has been around for a long time. Let me ask you this. I know we're running down to time. We got to get up to the top guys.
Yeah.
But this is a legit question. Cruz has been around for a long time. If he doesn't do well in this classic, he's still John Cruz. He's got the missile baits. He's very business-minded, right?
Yeah.
Doing very well in this industry. What would a classic win mean to John Cruz and John Cruz's career? Would it change things for him, or would it be a feather in his cap? A lot of guys, this would be life-changing.
I don't think so for
if
him.
There's
it would
a
be
guy,
a massive resume builder.
That's what I'm saying. But if there's a guy in this classic who would win and it not be quote-unquote life-changing, I think it would be John Cruz.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that a
with
fair assessment?
No, I agree with that 100%. Let's see here. Who is next? Bill Lowen. And Mr. Lowen has 9 classic experience. Let's see here. No Bassmaster Classic, though, in 18 or 19. His best finish 4th back in 2016 on Grand Lake. He had a 10th place finish at the Red River, 30th at Guntersville back in 2014. And his Guntersville performance back in 2019, even though it was in June, finished 14th. You throw in experience, you throw in his ability to adapt, you throw in the cliche and what people think about Bill Lowen, being a river rat and all that. His game is much, much more well-rounded than what he's really, really good at.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can go fish what he's really, really good at Guntersville. So.
Yeah. So that's why I have him at 8-1.
This next guy, I'm interested to see what you have to say about Mr. Perch.
Yeah, hang on. Let me get my notes.
Because that would be kind of a cool story. We've seen him, with what he's done in the U.S. Opens before.
Yeah.
And it would be really cool to see him in the mix.
Yeah, 6 classics, and he's one of the few guys. He's on a 6 classic appearance streak. 6 consecutive classics. So this is going to be his 7th one. Back in 2014, finished 51st. I think when you look at his game from 2014 to 2020, so much better. Not that he wasn't that great in 2014. I just think that he has adapted and learned and became just a much, much, much more complete angler today than he was 5-6 years ago. Yeah, he's got how many U.S. Opens? 3. Yeah.
3 U.S. Opens?
Yeah, I don't think the crowd's going to bother him. I don't think the classic experience is going to bother him. The only thing that might bother him is the fact that he might be not dialed in.
He fished the Cup in 10, 11, and 12. Didn't fish any of the championships in 13, but then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. So you're looking at a guy who for a decade has prepared for a tour championship event.
Yep. All right, I got Stetson Blaylock. Did we do him already?
Yeah, that's 9-1.
Oh, okay,
we're already up to 7-1, which is your man, Jamie Hartman, who won on Guntersville before. Yeah. You look at his track record. He came out the rookie season, had the back issues, came back. Solid pick there at 7-1. I don't think it would surprise anyone. We know he's going to do his homework and have a lot of momentum coming into it.
1 classic appearance, though. Finished 30th back in 2018.
Which obviously doesn't matter because if you look at the guys who are at the top, there's a guy up there who's got 7 classics. But your favorite and 2 other guys in the top 10 do not have any classic experience, which is kind of a teaser for what we're coming up for. 6-1.
Brandon Lester.
Yeah, Brandon Lester joins the Johnson brothers in Chris and Corey Johnson.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, those guys really, really good. Going to talk to each other. Going to do everything.
You think they are going to?
I do.
Would it be interesting to you to see the two brothers come down for the Classic title? Just
that would be
kind
cool.
of separating themselves and dueling it out.
Yeah, that would be
for
very,
the Bassmaster
very cool.
Classic title.
Very cool.
Because we've had that opportunity before. Obviously, with the Lane brothers, we've had the father sons with the Joneses, but I don't think we've ever had it to where it was brother versus brother, sibling versus parent.
Would be cool. I think it'd be great drama. All right, so those guys at 6-1. At 5-1, I've got Mr. Zaldane, 4 classics, 12th at Knoxville, 23rd at Conroe, 41st at Grand, 52nd at Gville back in 2014. The one thing about Chris, though, is
he doesn't care about anything about 10th.
Except winning.
It's, yeah. That's why I say, and people are like, well, how is that even possible? But literally, Chris Zaldane could go out and zero this classic and be closer to winning than the guy who's in 10th.
No, that's a great
because
point.
if that pattern that he does stays with it, he wins.
Yeah.
And you know he's going to have a swim bait in his hand. And you know that after all the seconds he had last year in the start down in Florida, he's going to go for it.
Yeah.
And if he's gotten 1 or 2 big bites in practice, and that's all he's gotten, and he can go safely catch 15 pounds or go after these giants, 100% unequivocally, without a doubt in my mind, he's going after the giants and will sleep better at night if he double goose eggs this classic than if he goes and catches 15 pounds and finishes in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree. All right, 5-1, Matt Herron. We had him on the show. I think if there's ever been a classic in the 7 previous appearances, that Matt has a great shot at winning, this is it.
Do you think he is truly relaxed like he said on the show? That he has this magical, mystical calm that he can't explain that's come over him? And it's just, or do you think that underneath the surface?
No.
He's cool. Man is boiling.
No, man.
Should someone
get
on his grass line on Gunnersville the first morning?
I'm not saying he's not going to be intense
he's gonna
on the
spin
water.
out.
I don't think he's going to spin out. I really don't. It's just right down the road from where he lives. He's going to be sleeping in his bed at night. 5-1. I would put some money on Matt Herron at 5-1.
Okay.
All right. The last one I have at 5-1, Seth Feider.
I'm surprised that he's so high, Mark.
I
think that you fell into the Seth Feider fan bandwagon on this one. What in his statistics, and I'm not saying he's not a great angler, he obviously is, you go up north, but even he has admitted that the biggest struggle in his career is catching them down south. And now you're on a TVA current-driven lake down south with changing spring conditions.
I know. He finished 11th back in 2019. 2 classics. He finished 15th at Knoxville, 18th at Greenville.
I think there's a little bit of cover boy coming into your decision here with the flowing locks on the Bass Times.
You know, we'll see.
The Zona shows.
I don't know. I don't think I don't think anything bothers this dude, to be quite honest.
No.
So,
like I said, I think he should be in the top, but I mean,
what would
dude,
you put him at?
I wouldn't put him with Matt Herron. And I would say that with him sitting right here.
What would you put him at?
I would put him a notch below that. I would put him in the 8-1.
Okay.
I would put Fighter in the
that.
8-1. I think a little bit of the Fighter hype got into your decision making here.
Maybe. All right, we'll see. All right, and then at 3-1, John Cox. What else do we need to say about this guy? He's just a machine on the water. 1 classic, but I don't think that really matters. Back in, he did struggle back in February of 2017 in an event there. He finished 135th. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
he'll be dialed in.
I think he's going to be massively, massively dialed in. He's already won this year. He won the Cup back in 2016. He's one of the greatest anglers, I think, on Chick. tie in to what's taking place down there and his ability to adapt 3-1. And then my favorite.
This is the favorite. Mark Jeffries.
My
highly
favorite.
Not fictitious. What are they? For entertainment purposes only.
Exactly.
14th year of the Bassmaster Classic Bass Zone odds. Number one is...
Has 0 classic appearances. All right. But he did win Angler of the Year. I set his odds at 2-1. I'm talking about Scott Canterbury. I just like the vibe of this dude. You know, he's been to 10 FLW Cups. He finished 6th in 2018, 2nd in 2014.
He's got 2 seconds. We've talked to him about that. Remember, he had the dang thing won pretty much.
2012, $1.3 million in earnings. He finished 6th at the SJR already this year, so if there is a little bit of momentum, you know, I like it. He finished 22nd back at Guntersville.
He's a pro's pro.
On 2019. He's from Alabama.
Yeah.
Am I wrong on this one at 2-1?
That's your favorite, man. That's the classic favorite going into it. There is, like I said, there is no Kevin Van Dam in this.
Yeah.
Scott Canterbury, without a doubt, in my mind, having never fished in a classic, like you said, is the prohibitive favorite in this classic going into it.
That's it. All right, real quick on the instant feedback. Somebody wants to know, what are the odds that somebody that is a classic rookie wins this year? What would you put the odds at?
How many are there? What is 27 divided by 53, Mark? That's
betting odds. If it was a prop bet, what would you put it at?
50%. I think it's a yes or no.
So if you had a betting line on it, what would it be? 25
It'd be even
to 1?
money.
What?
You don't think so? You think there's better odds that someone who's won a classic is going to win this? Or who's fished in a classic?
It's
yeah.
36 compared to 27.
I'd say 5-1.
That a rookie wins?
No. I'd say 5-1 that someone who's been... No, because the favorite hasn't been in a classic.
I'm going to put it at 10-1.
That's
my line.
That a guy who has been in a classic wins.
No, that a guy that hasn't been in a classic.
Oh, so
a rookie.
If a rookie wins, you make 10-1.
Yeah.
So if you put down $10, you win 100.
That's
if
right.
a rookie wins.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd put it more at like 5-1.
Really?
Yeah. Well, look, you've got Canterbury, the Johnson brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. I think
Stetson Blaylock.
You're right. 5-1 is a good number on that.
Matt Airy, Ray Hanselman, Cliff Prince, Patrick Walters, Gray Buck, Mullins, Shane LaHue, Gussie. I mean,
yeah,
you got a bunch of guys in there.
Yeah, I think 5-1 is a good number on that. Going through this here real quick. Who do you think will have the first day camera boats? Andy in Indiana says. I think Canterbury, Zaldane.
Yep.
One of the Johnson brothers.
Heron.
Matt Heron. Mueller, maybe. I don't know. That's a good question.
I wonder how they decide that. Or if they go on their Angler of the Year standings.
I don't know. Don't know.
All right.
5-1.
Well done, Mark.
Way too high. I'm trying to get through. Jake in Ohio says Canterbury, Zaldane, Fighter, Heron, Cruz. I think they might put 1 or 2 cameras in one of the rookies' boats. I mean, I know Canterbury is a classic rookie. I'm talking about somebody that does not have the season experience on any tour.
All right. This will be the last show before the Classic. We are up against it. So who do you got? How much weight?
All right. Let's do this. I'm going to take... Let's do a favorite. What's my favorite and who's my long shot?
Okay. We'll do favorite long shot.
All right. My favorite's Matt Heron.
Okay.
And over 3 days, I think it's going to take 65 pounds.
Okay. And who's your long shot?
My long shot is Gray Buck.
I knew that. You have like a weird thing with certain guys.
I really, really, really like the dude. as far as his chances. The other, and if I had to pick another there was a. Hang on, let me find him real quick. Patrick Walters is the other guy.
Okay, borderline long shot.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite, Brandon Cobb.
Okay.
63 pounds to win this thing.
We're close.
Just a hair over 20.
All right.
And my long shot, and I'm going off of your odds there. I really think that Gleason might be there in the end, Mark.
Okay.
I'm going Daryl Gleason as my long shot.
All right. Pick another long shot. I had two, so pick one.
Who was your second one?
Patrick Walters.
Oh, well, I already told you mine was Cody Huff.
Oh, okay.
Huff and Gleason as the long shots. I think Cobb gets it done with 63 pounds.
Andy says, would you pick Miles Burkhoff if he was in the Classic?
Jeffries would be. He wouldn't even be on. He wouldn't even allow people to bet on Burkhoff.
Oh, jeez. All right, folks, there you have it. There was a lot of work in this, and I just I want to wish these guys the best of luck. Majorly looking forward to this week. As we mentioned, we will do a recap show a week from tomorrow as we head to Birmingham for the 50th version of the Bassmaster Classic. Please, if you see us, stop us, talk to us. Don't forget what time? Noon on Saturday?
Yeah, noon to 2 on Saturday at the AFCO booth.
There, you can come by and see us then. Folks, be safe. If you're going to the Classic, be safe. Enjoy.
I think they might even have
That's
them.
it.
I don't know if they're at the Classic, but they've got those new chatterbait trailers that Big Bite has out.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like the orange-red color, like the color of your red kicker.
Yeah.
I think they might have some of those at the Classic. I'm not sure. I don't want to speak out of turn there, but I think it might be available there.
Andy said get your Sharpie ready.
Yeah. I'll be in the corner sniffing the Sharpie while no one's at the booth.
Jeez. All right, that's it. We're out of here.